Before I announce the next recipient, I would like to just say thank you to Marion University. I'm not from the PD area, but I call it home now. I have been here for a little longer than a year. Communities our size do not usually have such an active, strong, academically and financially secured university. I want to thank John Srini for everything he does as a community from the communication vice president of the university, for he makes sure that the good news of the university makes it to the public eye. I believe John is probably in the back somewhere. Yeah, John's back there, so if you could give him a hand. Please, John, can you raise your hand? And of course, Marion University would not be the university it is without my good friend, President Fred Carter. At first, I did not know how to take a person that has so much influence as President Carter. But within a very short time, I've realized that he is truly a gift to this community. I am privileged that he considers me a friend. Thank you, President Carter, for making this event happen. Let's give President Carter a standing ovation, if you would. I'd like to thank my former editor of the Morning News and the author of a soon-to-be published book on Senator Leatherman, Don Kausler. He's here somewhere. I saw him also. Don, where are you, Don? Don, thank you for introducing me to President Carter. I really appreciate that, and you will always have a special place in this community's heart. Thank you, Don. I would also like to thank our current editor, Chris Day of the Morning News, for writing the following remarks for me, for it takes a lot to make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Chris. Chris is back there somewhere, too. Chris, yep. Our next medallion recipient has worked tirelessly to make the PD safer, more compassionate region since 1986. She has spent her adult life helping victims of crime and abuse piece their lives together and find justice. She is receiving the Marion Medallion today for her commitment to the victims of sexual, domestic, and child abuse. But will be the first to tell you this award belongs to every volunteer, employee, and supporter of the PD Coalition. She has spent her adult life helping victims of, she was there for the first Presbyterian Church in Florence in 1986 when the PD Coalition was incorporated, and has helped guide the coalition as it has expanded in operations from 3 counties to 8 counties. The PD Coalition mission is reduction of sexual assault, family violence, and child abuse, and to help the victims. Sexual assault, family violence, and child abuse are a community issue. They affect the total community. Women, men, service providers, and all who value the basic human desire to be free from physical threat and harm. The coalition is governed by a volunteer board of directors. County Pacific chapter boards support the board of directors by taking the local lead in resource development, public awareness, and site management. The organization is staffed by more than 70 full-time, part-time, and co-located employees throughout the PD region. It provides community victims assistance through 24-hour crisis intervention, operates alternative to violence programs, prevention education programs, children's center, as well as emergency and transitional shelters. The coalition is funded through local, state, and federal dollars, but also relies on financial and in-kind assistance from the general public. It is a member of organizations of 7 area United Ways or similar funding agencies. Let's recognize the work of the PD Coalition and this year's second Marion Medallion recipient, Helen Hamilton, Executive Director of PD Coalition. Ellen. Did I say Helen? Ellen. Dr. Carter, you come up here. Here. I know you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Too bad.
But you can't close it. She's doing a Don.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, Dr. Carter knows, and Don knows too. I am not good at this. Now, I'm good at talking about a lot of things, but not this. But Dr. Carter, Matt, Don, thank you for recognizing the coalition's mission and 35 years of work in the PD. Gene, you and Senator Leatherman were supportive from the get-go. The senator was one of my early contacts, and if it hadn't been for you, I never could have participated in Leadership Florence, because we didn't have a dime then. It sounds trite to say that there is inadequate time to acknowledge all of those who've been instrumental in the progress of the coalition. I'd be remiss if I even attempted it. There were those in the beginning who were generous with their time and their space and tolerant, at least to my face, of the persistence and relentless push for change. And those of you all that know the former Sheriff Billy Barnes, just ask him. Victim survivors and their friends and family, legal, criminal justice, mental health, social service, healthcare, and educational leaders were all part and parcel of the birth of the coalition and its mission and philosophy. Now, April 1st of this year will mark the 35th year of the coalition's 24-hour crisis line and on-site response to hospitals in multiple counties. And at that time, I believe there were 8 hospitals in the 3 counties. And that was through the efforts of trained volunteers. And I remember well a doctor's wife who was one of our volunteers in Lake City. She was on the mobility calendar and was going to Hartsville to be with a rape victim or domestic violence victim. So it's a dedicated group. It was our intention and the consensus of those from multiple counties who came together for that first regional meeting in July of 1986 at the First Presbyterian Church here in Florence to have a regional organization. So we started out regionally from the get-go that addressed prevention as well as victim services for 3 critical areas: child abuse, sexual assault, and domestic violence. And fortunately, the Department of Justice under Attorney General Edward Meese in the President Ronald Reagan's administration had in 1984 identified these 3 populations as primary populations and underserved victims of crime. And over the years, we were able to secure funding generated by federal fees and fines from white-collar crime to ensure that every county in our 7-county service area had basic crisis intervention and advocacy services. We've tried our best to be innovative, resourceful, good stewards of our donors' dollars, and to lay the groundwork for the future, knowing that sexual assault, child abuse, and domestic violence are widespread social problems that have been and unfortunately will continue to be experiences that occur far too frequently. Whether it's conducting a self-defense class for women and girls, focusing on the impact of witnessing or experiencing violence and abuse on boys, teaching compassion education and violence prevention through the use of rescue dogs in a middle school classroom, exploring the expansion of domestic violence offender intervention to include frontline response at a time of arrest, ensuring child abuse forensic medical services are available and convenient, or partnering with our colleges and universities. Francis Marion was one of our first, to promote campus safety. We'll continue to put our vision at the forefront of our community work to make, through all of our programs and services, the PD a safer, more compassionate community in which to live. So On behalf of all our staff and our county chapter boards and our board of directors, our donors, and all that we have taught, assisted, sheltered, supported, or influenced, we're grateful and appreciative of this board. Thank you so much.